So today we will see the phase diagram and we will begin with the binary system. The first system is the eutectic system. Here in the phase diagram we shall take component A and component B. Binary system means there are two components. Here two components means in the melt there are two minerals that constitute the total melt. And here we have for example A and B. So we shall see how the crystallization begins and proceeds for the eutectic system. So suppose we have only the melt contains only A. For this melt it will be purely composed of A, therefore it will have its crystallization temperature at A, that is known as TA. And suppose it is composed of totally B, it will have its crystallization temperature at TB. But because these are not pure systems, these have some other components mixed in the melt, therefore the melting temperature or the crystallizing temperature will be decreased. Therefore suppose we take a melt of composition that lies here, that means above this point. Therefore here we have 100% A and here we have 100% B and 0% A and here 0% B. So here we will have somewhere about for example say 40% B and 60% A. Therefore our melt that we are taking, that we are considering is composed of 40% B and 60% A. So how will the crystallization begin? So this composition, first you need to see what these lines are called. So this line here, above this line everything is a melt, that means liquid in composition, and below this line and within this line everything is liquid plus a crystal, and here also liquid plus crystal, and below this line everything is solid. So we will rub it because of inconvenience. This is solid below this line. Therefore when this melt, we decrease its temperature for crystallizing. When it touches this line is known as a liquidus line. This is a liquidus, and this line below which everything is solid known as solidus. Below when the melt touches the solidus, we shall see the crystallization begins here. If the melt was purely composed of A, the crystallization would have begun here. But because it is not composed only of A and it has some up to some extent it also contains B, the melting temperature or crystallization temperature will decrease. Therefore when it touches here, we shall extend this line and join this temperature line. This is the temperature line and this is the composition line. So when it touches here, we shall see the crystallization temperature of this melt M at Em. So how it will proceed next? Here we will have the first solid of I am talking about the equilibrium crystallization. We will see two type of crystallization. One is equilibrium and another is fractional. So these two type of crystallization we see in nature. In nature, the crystallization lies somewhere between these two, equilibrium and fractional. Nothing is pure equilibrium, nothing is pure fractional. So here we will see first the equilibrium crystallization. For equilibrium crystallization, when the first crystallizes here, then some amount of first crystal to be crystallized will be of A, because A here is of more proportion, and therefore first crystal to be crystallized is A. That means from the melt, suppose this is the total melt we have and this is the partition. This is here it is 40% B and here it is 60% A. Because some part, suppose say 5% got crystallized out, then this will get out from the melt. So now we have So after the 5% has been crystallized, we will have less percent of A in the melt, and part of the composition of A will get crystallized. So as we will see, because part of the A will be crystallized and it will have less of its fraction in the melt, therefore it will be more enriched in, gradually it will get enriched in B. So therefore the total composition, if you see the percentage, suppose we have this much percentage total, and initially, and this is the percentage of B and this is the percentage of A by total. So how do we calculate the percentage of A or B? So this is, suppose, percentage of B, and this is percentage of A, and this is the total one. This is the total. So percent of B will be B by fraction of B by total into 100, and fraction of A by total into 100. So as A gets decreased gradually, so the fraction of A in the melt will be reduced and fraction of B will get increased. Therefore the melt will move towards B, towards the composition, along the composition line towards B. Therefore we will have the liquid moving in this direction. And suppose we consider this point. At this point Y, suppose there is this much crystallization of A. So this part gets away from the melt, crystallized away from the melt, and we have this much part of A. So for this much part of A to crystallize, we will have this temperature Tmy. This is Tmx, this is Tmy. So now up to this point we will have only A crystallizing. There will be no crystallization of B. That is the behavior of the eutectic system. So we will have A crystallizing up to here, and after this point we will have A as well as B crystallizing at E, both crystallizing at E. And when the crystallization of B begins, the melt will be now lesser rich in B, therefore it will reach to this point, and this point will be exactly along where the line, that vertical line cuts the solidus, vertical line joining the initial composition to the solidus. This line will be exactly where it will lie, and after this point we will have only solid, and this solid therefore will have its composition equal to the initial melt we have taken. And this is all about your eutectic crystallization, eutectic equilibrium crystallization. Means the initial composition, what you need to consider is the initial composition will be same as the final composition. That means the initial melt composition will be equal to the final solid composition, and the solid to crystallize first will be based on how much percent of the melt is present, percent of that component is present in the melt. Therefore here A is having more percentage, more weightage, therefore weight percent, that is, we will take the weight percent in consideration. So here weight percent of A is more than B, therefore we crystallize A first, and therefore at this point we have both A plus B, and then below this line, the solidus line, we will have both A and B as crystals. We saw the crystallization behavior of eutectic system. Now we will see the equilibrium melting. We had the total solid A plus B with equal composition as the initial melt. Now if we melt this solid, first its temperature, because this is temperature axis, first its temperature will rise, and then at eutectic temperature, this is the temperature at eutectic point. So at eutectic temperature the melting will begin, and the melting will begin here. A and B at TE, at temperature of eutectic, A and B will begin melt simultaneously, melting simultaneously. So it will proceed in the exactly opposite way, just like the crystallization. Here we had the crystallization in this direction. First here we had the first crystal, and then we proceeded here, and at P we had both crystallizing and the composition of liquid proceeding here, and here we had the complete solid, the last drop of liquid crystallized. Now we will have the melting in the exactly opposite direction. This solid will rise its temperature. Now your melting will begin and it will rise to the eutectic temperature position. So the first melting will have composition of E. That means the first melt to form will be of eutectic composition. And initially, suppose we had 40% B and 60% A in the melt, and therefore the solid will also have 40% B. This is for liquid, this is for solid. We have 40% B and 60% A. So that means at eutectic composition, suppose the composition is at eutectic point, the composition is 38% B and 62% A. Therefore, if at E the composition is like this while crystallizing, then because of melting of the first melt will have its composition this one. That means if this much melt forms, it will have here the 38% of B and 62% of A. And again, if this much percent melt forms, it will have 38% B and 62% A. And this will combine and become exactly 38% B and 62% A as a whole. And gradually the melting will continue until there is no B left in the solid. So after B completely melted, it will melted in the ratio of eutectic ratio. That means we have eutectic ratio as 38% B and 62% A. This is an example for us, and therefore in this ratio the total B will be melted and we will have only A in the solid. Now the solid A will begin melting like this and will keep melting and coexist with the solid A, and at this point the total solid A will melt down and we will have the initial composition of solid equal to the final composition of melt. So in the equilibrium melting and equilibrium crystallization, we saw that the solid A and solid B coexisted with the liquid. But in the fractional crystallization, we will see that as soon as the solid A is crystallized from the melt, it will get separated from the system. That means the entire system will be deprived of solid A. In the equilibrium case, we had solid A within the system. But if this is the total system and we have the liquid and then we have the solid A, this will be taken out as soon as the solid A is produced, and therefore we will be left only with the liquid that consists of liquid A plus liquid B. Because this is in liquid phase, we cannot discriminate between or differentiate between the A and B, therefore we only write liquid. So this is fractional crystallization, so we will see how it proceeds. Now here the first crystal begins crystallizing, and at this point the solid A gets separated, and as we proceed towards this, we will have solid A separating out, and at this point both A and B, at eutectic point, both A and B will crystallize and get separated from the system. Therefore the final liquid here will finish and crystallize totally with crystals of A and B, and the final crystal that forms will not have its composition equal to the initial melt, because the total system is now, it is not adiabatic. That means there is exchange of matter. The matter from the system gets taken out, and therefore the final composition will not be similar to the initial melt. And similarly for the fractional melting. The fractional melting, what we will have? Fractional melting, we shall have here the solid will first melt at equilibrium temperature, and then the B will first get molten out, and it will get separated from the system. And after B has completely been molten, now the system will have, the solid will have total solid A. That means it is pure solid A. That means up to this much temperature along this line there will be no melting of solid A. Therefore, because it is solid A and this is the temperature of melting of pure solid A, we will have the next solid melting at here. The next melting, the first melting will begin at TE. The first melting at TE, and the next melting at TA. And in between we don't have any melting behavior. So we will see what textures this eutectic system produces. So first we saw in the equilibrium crystallization that we have both components crystallizing simultaneously. That means we will have some intergrowth system. That means there will be two nucleations and two minerals will begin crystallizing simultaneously. So we will have the growth of two minerals A and B, and this will result in an intergrowth texture. And suppose the cooling is fast, we will have a, what do you say, this is a texture known as, have the porphyritic texture here. Porphyritic texture, we will have a large grain. That means we will have grains of A. In this case, we will have grains of A, and at eutectic point, if the temperature decreases very quickly, we will have glass. That means matrix of B, glass or matrix of B. So we have porphyritic texture, and then we will have poikilotic texture. So this is all about, and other textures such as intercertal and intergranular. You can imagine how these textures will proceed. Now we will see how we can know how much composition of each component is there in the melt or solid. Suppose this point we take, this point X, we need to find out how much percent of solid as well as how much percent of liquid is present at this point. When at this point crystallization begins, what is the percent of solid and what is the percent of liquid. So we need to apply the lever rule here. Lever rule tells that, suppose this is a line representing total, suppose this is total percentage X and Y, then how much percentage of X is there and how much percentage of Y. And suppose this is the melting, this is the melt, and at this point how much percent of X and how much percent of Y. So we shall take, according to the lever rule, we will take this part as the composition of X and this part as the composition of Y, and total will be suppose XY. Therefore we need to find out the what portion of X is present. So that is X by XY into 100, and how much portion of Y is present, Y by XY into 100. That means XY means total. So accordingly, if we see this example, at this point we need to consider this a line. This line is known as tie line. Tie line means this line will help us find out how much percent of solid, how much percent of melt is present in at this point. So at this point, because this is total A and this is the melt, we have only solid here. That means at this point exactly at this point, sorry, chalo chalo. So this tie line, that means suppose I name it as xz, zx, okay. So zx tie line represents the composition at just at this point. We only have just at the point x, we have only melt, and no crystal of A has begun. Just above this point, no crystal of A has begun crystallizing. That means that will be for ZX line. Here is the melt composition, and this is the total composition. Therefore, total will be melt by total is melt into 100. It implies we have only melt. We will see as we proceed the equilibrium crystallization. At this point, suppose we need to find out, that is y. Not take it y. This is q and this is r. So for at point q, at q we take the tie line rq, tie line rq line. So at this point, this composition intersects the rq line here. M, suppose this is M. The Mn line intersects the RQ tie line here. Therefore, we need to find out C. Here you will see what percent is increasing. Suppose you see this part, and suppose you see this part. This part is increasing, and while crystallizing, what is increasing? We will see the solid part is increasing. Therefore, the increasing part will represent the solid component, and this stable part will represent the melt component. Therefore, how much solid here we have? Here suppose R, this is S, so we have SQ, percentage of solid is equal to SQ by RQ into 100 at point Q, when the melt has touched the solidus liquidus at Q, and the percent of liquid will be RS by RQ into 100. So similarly, we will get the composition at each point for the melt M. And similarly, we can also do for D. Suppose we take any composition here. This is suppose H. We will get the same result as usual.